and we're just about ready for football. What should we be looking for today, Mark?
Well, these two teams have always been very competitive, have always been fighting against each other. There was a time there from 1995 until 2000, actually until 2003, where either one of these teams were in the Chicagoland League championship game. So we expect a good, hard-fought game from the two of these clubs today.
The Chicago Thunder will be kicking off to the Force of Illinois. The Force of Illinois won the toss. They elected to receive. The Thunder will be defending the south goal, and the Force will be defending the north goal. Back deep to return for the Force of Illinois. Randy Williams.
And Magic Jones is also back there. The Magic Man he's a thrill to watch. He's a one-man gang. You're going to have a lot of fun watching this kid today.
Had a great season last year with the Punishers. So the ball is being teed up, and in just a couple of seconds here, we're going to have football. There's the whistle, and we're set to go. And we're underway. Jones lets it bounce, fields the ball at about the 9-yard line. He starts breaking toward the left sideline, cuts back at the hash. Now he's into a little bit of trouble and dropped at the 5-yard line. Making the tackle for the Thunder. LeVar Spector drops him at the 5-yard line, and that is where the Force will start 1st and 10. What happened, Mark?
They got a deep kick, and they tried to set up the wall to the left. There wasn't anything there, and the returner tried to change direction, but the Thunder kept their good discipline, stayed in their lanes, and made the play. Right now, I want to send made Frank Apollo a promise to send a shout out to his son, who is listening to us from Seattle, Washington. So a shout out to little Frank Apollo.
All right, Walter Alves brings the Force up to the line of scrimmage. First play of the ball game. And there's a whistle.
I think we had movement. I don't know if the Thunder got pulled off or because they stopped the play. It had to be that the Force had some movement, so it's not going to hurt them that much since they're at the 5, so now they're back to the 2.5.
Half the distance to the goal line. Now, both these teams come in today 4-0. They have a history. So you think there might be a little nervous edge to these ball clubs? When you see penalties like that early in the ball game, sometimes that's the case.
Yeah, I think so. They haven't been in the same league with each other for the past 5 years. So this is their first league game in 5 years, and they get a stop by the Thunder.
First play from scrimmage. Al gives to the first back through, but he is stopped for no gain. It will be 2nd and 10.
That was Big Brian Page, number 77, in on the tackle.
The ball carrier was number 9, Randy Williams. 2nd and 10. The Force of Illinois, starting in the shadow of their own goalpost.
This is not a good. This isn't a good start.
Never a good place to start, especially when you're going up against a tough defensive ball club like the Thunder.
Yeah, one of the things that the Thunder team has been able to do since '95 is they play defense and they shut people down.
Alves comes up to the line. He's got 2 receivers to the right, but he throws left, looking for the wide receiver, number 7, DeJuan Jones. He overthrew him, and it'll be 3rd and 10. Now that looked like a timing play. What went wrong?
He got too much pressure. He just didn't have enough time to let the play develop. And I think the quarterback got rid of it way earlier than he wanted to. But if he held on to it anymore, then it's a safety.
Well, there didn't seem to be immediate pressure. The pressure was coming. Perhaps maybe a checkoff might have been an option, but he never looked anywhere else. The force back to the line of scrimmage. Same formation, wide receiver split left, one back in the backfield. They've got two wide receivers to Al's right. On 3rd and 10,
and we got a safety.
Is to number 34. He is dropped in the end zone. That's a safety. And just like that, the Chicago Thunder are on the board 2-0.
Yeah, we get pinned back, and you have a defense like the Thunder has. They pin back their ears, and they're like sharks smelling blood on the water.
Well, their senses working as fast as they can.
It's okay. I'm looking. That's good. Good position. You can look over your shoulder. That's the best way of doing it. Was that page in there?
Yes. One of the things I want to mention today is that the Thunder has Brian Bates playing today. Bates, a former high school teammate of one of our halftime guests, Mitchell Pruitt, former Chicago Bear, and Dallas Cowboy. So now the Thunder are going to get the kickoff at the 20-yard line as soon as the referee and the kicker can get okay. They are going to use the team. They're going to try it.
Back deep to return for the Thunder, number 8, LeVar Stepter. But the kick is a short one. And it's taken by the Thunder at the 44-yard line. Number 53 is dropped. Colvin right across midfield to about the force 48. So the Thunder will start 1st and 10 at the force 48. Excellent field position for their first drive of the ball game.
Well, this is really what you want to have. I mean, your defense comes out, makes a stop, and then your offense gets the ball in good field position to get things going. So it didn't look any better as far as the Chicago Thunder is concerned.
Absolutely. They come to the line of scrimmage. R.J. Sierra is the quarterback. He's got them in an I formation. Wide receivers split left and right. And they give us to number 4, Anthony Binion. And he's got running room, upright tackle. First down. And he carries to the inside the Force of Illinois 40-yard line, dropped at the 36.
It's a lot easier here.
He's excited.
Because it's going to get cold and windy and rainy toward the end of the season.
Ashley is just as excited. They've got him split out as a receiver on this play.
Once again, the Thunder comes to the line of scrimmage in an I formation. Wide receivers split left and right. And the give is to Binion again. This time, not nearly as successful. Pick up a major yard on the play. It'll be 2nd and 9. And on the stop was number 79 for the Force of Illinois, Maurice Woodard.
Okay, here now we got a 2nd and long. We'll see one of my disciples, former players,
I got his full
Tony
payment
Patek,
too,
is
so I
now
got
the offensive
3 guys
coordinator here with the Thunder.
Mark Soli, Mark just
Tony,
like Soli and Rich
like his old coach,
got full
likes to do
seasons
a
from
little
down
bit of
3.
running, so they'll probably keep the ball on the ground. Although they come out now with a 1 tight end, 3 receiver, single back set.
Single back tight end in motion, right to left. Stepped him a long count. And he's looking at a blitz.
Double pass.
Double pass. And throwing deep.
Hopefully intended for 2.
Overthrown. The intended receiver on the play was number 2, Andre Rolden.
Rolden played
Williams was a wide receiver who caught Schefter's pass and then tried to throw the bomb.
Rolden last year played with the Chargers, and I saw him early in camp with the Thunder, and this guy, he's a ball player.
What do you think about that call?
Well, that's Tony going away from the Bible a little bit. You don't try the exotics this early in the ball game.
That is not one of your team commands. It's 11:14 to play in the first quarter. Thunder leads 2-0. It'll be second and 14. The Thunder have the ball on the 40-yard line, and we'll see what they'll try here in this second and long situation. Schefter gets under center. He's got a split backfield now.
Yeah, they're right now they're giving up a big hole in between the guard tackle gap on the right side. They're going to run it some other time. They're going to be able to. We got a touchdown.
Touchdown bomb for number 2, Andre Rolden down the left sideline. That is a 40-yard touchdown. And just like that, the score is now 8-0. And with the extra point, the possibility of falling behind 9-0 within the first 5 minutes of the ball game. He had man coverage, and on a situation like that, second and long, should they not have been looking for Schefter to pass on that down?
Well, they certainly should have been looking for the pass on that play, and they most definitely should have double covered Rolden on that play. Because like I said, I saw him in camp. This kid can flat out play receiver. He can really play.
That may be the last time we see single man coverage for him the rest of the afternoon. They're set for the extra point. This is Joe Activo. The snap is down. The kick is up. It is blocked.
Blocked by 40.
Blocked.
44 on the block. 44.
There's number 44 for the.
Well, that was a nice opening drive for the Thunder to score here. Like you said, you want to get the ball on the plus 50, and when you get it in the plus 50, you want to score with it. And they got 3 plays, get the score. So that they can, try to answer. You don't want to get another score down and get out.
Yeah, they got blocked.
But you see this sometimes.
Before too. Last week they got blocked too, I think.
It's almost as if the teams come out on the field and one team is just playing at a higher level. Here's the kick. Akibo's kick. And it is caught and then dropped at the 20-yard line. For the left sideline.
Joe Shack.
Immediately right there by Joe Shack.
Yeah, they got blocked.
Was Randy Williams. And better field position than the first time the Force had the ball. They'll start first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
2 weeks ago.
Joe is another one of my former players and a favorite of mine. Pretty good wide receiver and a heck of a special teams player. I think he may have learned a little bit something from his younger brother Andy, who was a special teams demon for us for the 96 and 97 season.
Once again, they were trying for the return left. How hard and fast is that on kickoffs? Are return men supposed to pursue that even if it's not available to them?
Well, you kind of locked into it when you say that you're going to return to the left, and what you really need to do is check and see where the kicker is kicking the ball, and then you can set the return to the side that he most likely will kick it.
Okay, we're first and 10, and Al's is set to throw. He goes long and has his man, number 7, at midfield. He's dropped immediately after the catch. That was DeJuan Magic Jones on the reception.
21 on the stop.
And a gain on the play of 31 yards. 31-yard pickup to midfield. And back as the motor is now running offensively.
Well, if you want a guy to come back and get you back in the game, Magic Jones is the kid to do it for you. I've seen this guy do so many great things since the late 90s.
All right, the force is 1st and 10 at the midfield stripe. Al's under center. He's got wide receivers left and right, I formation. And the give on this play is to number 30, Marquez Pope. And Pope has a gain of about 1 yard on the play before he is stopped by a very aggressive and active Thunder defense. It will be second, and they're going to call it no gain. So it'll be 2nd and 10. No gain for Pope on the play. 2nd and 10. The force has the ball at
Boy on the stop there. Orlando, longtime veteran player, started his career with the Chicago Chargers, came over to the Thunder, and has collected, I think, 3 championship rings since his coming over here.
Well, it looks as if the Thunder defensively has come here today pretty much expecting the force to try to attack on the ground. They've obviously had more success throwing the ball and running the ball. We'll see what happens here on 2nd and 10 from the midfield stripe. Al's play action, trying to go on a crossing pattern. He was looking for his receiver, Randy Williams, number 9. He is stuck as the ball flew over his head. Sparacino on the coverage. Good defensive coverage on that play.
Yes, it was. Mike is another former player of mine. I don't know how many guys out here. I guess the short list is who isn't a former player of mine. But Mike played a couple of years for me with the Chicago Mavericks, and he's always been a good cover guy and definitely a hitter.
Well, that was evident on that play. It'll be 3rd and 10 from midfield. And just like that, after the long 31-yard pass play to get them into mid-range field territory, field position, they now find themselves looking at a 3rd and long. Al's under center. He's got 2 receivers to the right. Drops straight back. Pressure on him. Throws the ball short. Intended for his tight end, number 82, the intended receiver on the play. But he had Scott Schwann, that is, and he had to get rid of that ball quickly, and that was evident. 52. And the way the pass was so woefully short.
90 on the way.
Yeah, I think Walter is kind of rushing things, and when you look across the line and you see Tony Simpson,
when you're just
Orlando
you're always
Boy
thinking about it.
and Brian Page, breathe the fire, you kind of shakes you up a little.
At that time, it'll be 4th down, and the force will be punting away back deep to return for the Thunder is number 8, LeVar Stepter. Bad snap, but he does get the kick away. Good job of fielding that snap on the bounce and getting it away. His punt will roll and bounce out of bounds at the 22-yard line, a favorable bounce at about 10 yards.
89-yard punt, no return, never flag.
The Thunder will start, at least that's where they would have started before this flag. Late flag after the whistle, which usually indicates some kind of
There's a little bit of rambunctiousness at the end of the play between number 39 of the Force and number 27 of the Thunder, and I think the Thunder is going to get the yards marked off against them because they always hit the guy who does it last.
Well, I tell you what, the Force could not have asked for a better break than that, given the early game situation that they find themselves in. Their offense, save for one play, has sputtered. Their defense has been victimized by the big play. But instead of having to face the Chicago offense for a second series in decent field position, the Thunder will start 1st and 10 at their own 11-yard line. And that is where quarterback Sierra gets under center. He's got single back, receivers left and right, fullbacks on the wing. And the give is to Binion. And he's got running room, close to a first down.
83-44.
That stop was made by number 83 of the force of Illinois.
Brought down by number 83, Chico Davis.
And it was good enough for first down yardage. Exactly 10 yards on the play. So it'll be first and 10 at the 21-yard line. 6:50 to play in the first quarter. The Chicago Thunder lead the force of Illinois 8-0.
Well, he got that stretch out just after the play. It was sort of a counter trap play with the guard pulling and back taking the false steps to the left and coming back to the right.
A little confusion for Sierra. Now he's under center, same formation, and again is Dominion. He's off left tackle, and again a huge chunk of yardage, good enough for another first down. So they are running as efficient as an offense can run. One down, 10 yards or more.
You can't ask for anything better than that, and now Tony is going back to the book, and if you can beat him on the ground, what it does is it really debilitates and demoralizes the team, and especially when they're just doing right now with pretty much just some straight dives. I think that they're now going back to an even front. Or no, they're still in an odd front, and as long as they've got that odd front, then they can run.
Another flag on the play before the ball is snapped. It will be against the offense. Too much time is most likely the call. That's a 5-yard penalty, delay of the game. So they'll now have the ball first and 15 at their own 27-yard line. So almost half, a little less than half of that run by Binion is subtracted before they will snap the ball on first down. First and 10 at the 27. The Thunder come out, I formation, wide receivers split left and right. The force of Illinois confronting that in a 5-2 defense. And once again, the give is to Binion. And once again, a huge chunk of yardage as he moves across the 30 to about the 35
Favre hasn't missed a game since Rex Grossman was 12 years old.
Close to 8 yards. And now it will be 2nd and 7. What is
I haven't heard it yet.
In the trenches,
The Thunder is just kicking butt. Their people are beating the Force's people, and when you got that going, then you're going to move the ball. You got a left tackle in Ray Rudnick from the University of Western Illinois University. It's pretty good.
All right, 2nd and 7, and now the pitch is to number 22. That is Ashley Frazier, but the force of Illinois
29 on the stop
is there to launch off that one.
Frazier.
So Frazier gets minimal yardage on the play.
Lost back to the 31.
Lost to they're going to call it the 31-yard line, so that is a loss of 6 on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 11. So now the Thunder is looking at a 3rd and long situation.
Yeah, I think he really probably should have stayed inside again. He was doing so well inside. You've got defensive end that's going to sit outside the tackle. You can run the guard gaps as much as you want.
He wants to pass on this play. Flushed out of the pocket, rolls left, and he's got his man at midfield. The catch is made by Andre Golden. And Golden is dropped just across midfield by number 21, John Silas, making the tackle, but that is good for a first down and much, much more. Pick up with about 32 on the play.
Well, on that one, they double cover rolled it, so they held him out of the end zone.
20-yard pickup, 1st and 10.
Single coverage definitely isn't working, but you have to give credit on that play to Sierra. He had a lot of pressure inside. He immediately rolled out of it, spotted the man coverage, made a good pass to an open receiver, and consequently, the Thunder is once again moving in the right direction offensively. And now they go back to what's been working, Anthony Binion. He goes off that tackle. He's got a pickup of about 5 on the play. The tackle is made by number 44 for the Force of Illinois. That would be Jamie Assomi. But they're going to call it a pick of 6. They're going to be looking at a 2nd and 4 at the Force of Illinois' 43-yard line.
Well, that's another counter play, and they're doing the quick pops into the guards, and then they're pulling the guards some on the counter plays. And it's if they stay with that mix, I think that wait until the Force does something defensively, improves that they can stop it before you really get away from it.
Okay, Sierra brings his offense to the line of scrimmage. He's got a single back I formation, slot right, and it's a delay give to number 22.
Fumble, recovered.
Frazier fumbled the ball.
46 recovered, he dropped it.
It is picked up by number 46 for
And 40 recovered it ultimately.
Inside of the Chicago Thunder territory. They'll have it 1st and 10 at the Thunder 43-yard line. A huge break.
Yeah, it is. The Thunder was moving the ball again. They looked like they had a pretty good, a decent play set up, and then they knocked the ball loose, and it turns around, and it's just a matter, will the Force take advantage of this opportunity?
Well, here's their shot at it. They come to the line of scrimmage in an I formation, wide receivers left and right. Quarterback under center. Ball to Alves. Gives off right tackle to the first back through.
30 and carrier.
Number 30, the ball carrier on that play. That's Marquez Pope. Pope picked up about 3 on the play. They're going to give him 4. Let's call it 4. It'll be 2nd and 6. The Force ball at the 40-yard line.
Okay, then, big play here. You see how Coach Eddie McKinney, the offensive coordinator, does. They're calling the play here 2nd and 6 in a crucial situation for the Force.
2nd and 6. I formations. Wide receivers left and right. The ball is
recovers his fumble
by the quarterback. But he jumped on it immediately. Alves recovers his fumble immediately. They do lose 2 yards on the play, and just like that, Mark, they're looking at it.
Yeah, that's exactly what they did not want to have happen. Because in the 3rd and long, the defensive line can pin their ears back. Coach Kevin Thomas to call out it was all-out blitz, and it just makes things worse. They really did need to show a good play there. On 2nd down, keep out of 3rd and long. Force has to do that if they're going to have a chance today.
And that is the end of the first quarter. So, score after 1 quarter. The Chicago Thunder 8, the Force of Illinois 0. You are listening to a BK production.
And Dallas Cowboy, and member of the only Chicago Public League team to reach a state playoff final. Also, we will be talking with Associate Minister from Willow Creek Church in South Barrington.
The season is unique in that it starts in beautiful weather like this, and when the going gets tough, the sledding gets tough late season, so does the weather. And a true measure of championship teams are those that can persevere not only beyond the attrition of injuries and just the wear and tear of the season, but also the elements in situations like this. We're ready to go at the start of the second quarter. The Force has the ball 1st and 10 at the Thunder. I'm sorry, 3rd and 8 at the Thunder 41-yard line. Alves is back to pass. He was looking to throw a screen to the receiver. Was Walter Awald, number 30. But that pass is incomplete. Poor execution, looks like, Mark.
Yeah,
77.
He didn't get it out there the way that you really wanted him to, and it's a pretty good thing for the receiver because Mike Sparacino had drawn a bead on him, so if he had caught the ball, he'd have got blown up most definitely.
56 in punt formation.
Well, it'll be 4th
back to receive.
from the 41-yard line. So the Force, for the third time this afternoon, will have to punt away to the Thunder. And he gets off a line drive kick and bounds inside the 20-yard line and goes out of bounds at about the 10. There's a flag on the play. I was just about to say that's where the Thunder will start first and 10, but we'll have to see. The referee is marking it at the 11. Let's check out the
30-yard punt, no return.
30-yard was the gross on the punt. No return.
If there's a plus that you can pull out of this for the Force is that they get a chance, maybe depending upon what this penalty is, to really pin the Thunder down, and if from a field position standpoint, maybe that will give them an advantage. But if the penalty is against the Force,
you got 3-3?
okay, so they're going to get even more yardage, and so they're going to push the Thunder back inside the team.
The proverbial worm has turned. This game started with the Force of Illinois opening in the shadow of the north end zone. But as the quarters have changed and the teams are now moving in opposite directions,
The worm has turned.
That's right. As the Thunder find themselves backed up to the 5-yard line of the north end zone. First and 10 from the 7-yard line is where they're calling it. And that's where this drive will begin for Jorge Sierra. The Thunder come out with in an I formation, wide receivers split left and right. And the give is to Binion again. And he struggles across the 10-yard line. Good hard running. Gets him about 4 or 5 yards on the play. Before he stopped was number 44, and that is Jamie Assomi.
Assomi has been on darn near every running play that we've seen today. And I really like Binion and the way that he can run. If you give the receivers credit for yards after catch, he gets a lot for yards after hit.
He's been very active playing from that strong safety position. And Thunder give the ball to Binion. He tries to cut wide around the right side. No gain on the play. And guess who made the stop? Once again, it is Mr. Assomi.
Yeah, Assomi and Royster were over there on that play that time. And, the Thunder also has a rep for a strong defense. And
They just got into Packer
you're
territory.
starting to see them, start to pick it up a little bit, pick up the pace a little bit defensively.
Well, it looks as if the Force are starting to get their sea legs, starting to get a little bit more comfortable and confident with the competition that they face today, and this game is becoming more and more competitive. It is 3rd and 5, ball on the 12-yard line for the Chicago Thunder. As Sierra brings his team up, he's got twin wide receivers slotted to the right side, split backfield, drops back to pass.
Brought down by 56.
High in the air.
56 on the
And fortunately for the Thunder, the ball lands harmlessly inside the 20-yard line. Good defense by the Force on that play.
Yeah, that could have been really bad for the Thunder that time. It just turned out to be bad. And now it leads to a 4th down play, and they got to punt out of their end zone. That ball was just floating above the field, and it just lucky enough for the Thunder. None of the Force players could get back to it and pick it off and possibly return it.
Well, football is field position, and right now that favors the Force of Illinois. That was not the case early in the ball game when the Chicago Thunder jumped out to an early lead, almost entirely due to excellent field position. It is 4th and 5, and back to punt is number 5, Ron Williams. I'm sorry, Jamie Clemens. Jamie Clemens, number 6, the kicker. And this punt drops at his own 38-yard line. Bounces twice, picked up at the 49-yard line by number 7, Deron Jones. He has plenty of running room down the right side. Touchdown. Deron Jones goes 49 yards down the right sideline for the touchdown. And just like that, The Thunder's lead is cut to 2 and possibly 1. A beautiful 49-yard punt return by Ron Jones on a punt that dropped at the Thunder's 38-yard line. It was kicked from the end zone, dropped at the 38, bounced twice. Jones picked it up at midfield, just on the Thunder's side of midfield. And do you think maybe perhaps that that ball bouncing twice, that maybe the Thunder went to sleep, their coverage team went to sleep on that play?
Anytime you're kicking to Jones, you better not go to sleep. He's just a superior player. He got to the sidelines, turned on that speed. He had a wall that had formed, and that's what you want to have happen. And let your skilled players do their thing.
Timeout charge to the Thunder.
Some special team games between good teams turn on special teams. We'll see if that's the case this afternoon. Now it looks as if the Force is going to try to tie this ball game. They're going to go for the 2-point conversion. And Als brings his team up. He's got wide receiver to the right, power I formation. Long count. And the give is off tackle left. The second back through was number 36. Number 30. Early in the ball game, going for a 2-point conversion. Is that the call you would have made? Opportunity here to do a little backseat driving.
I think that I would have played a little closer to the vest. I would have gone ahead and gone for the extra point.
Now, I'm of a mind that 2-point conversion it's a wonderful asset to have because it does give more opportunity for games to be won or lost in the last minute. But I also think there's a lot of coaches who abuse that privilege, for lack of a better phrasing. And I think, quite frankly, this is one of those cases to pass up the almost sure single point and to get into a 1-point situation where any kind of a score will give you the lead, even if nothing happened for the on into the no more scoring into the fourth quarter. You go into the fourth quarter only a point down. Kind of confusing to me. Here's the kick. It's a low line drive, fielded at the 35-yard line by number 30. Jamie Epps, and he's got some running room across midfield, blocked at about the 45-yard line of the Force of Illinois, and that is where the Thunder will start. Again, excellent field position, 1st and 10.
Yeah, excellent field position again for the Thunder, and let's see if they take advantage of it. They got the swing back, after the. See if they can now do something from the offensive standpoint.
And again, we're not going to harp on it. Mention it one more time. Boy, oh boy. That 2 points, that 1 point could look large. Anyway, here we go. 1st and 10. Sierra under center. Wide receivers left and right. I formation to get us to Binion. Binion struggling to get back to the line of scrimmage. May have even got the yard on the play. Looked like he did. And it'll be 2nd and 9 from the 44-yard line.
Well, you're going to like this kid, Binion. I mean, he gets hit 3 or 4 times behind the line of scrimmage, and he still gets plus yards out the play. I mean, you really like to see that out of a running back, and I can understand why the Thunder put so much confidence in his play, because they know that only positive things happen when he touches the ball.
Well, he's so far today shown an ability to get the tough yardage in between the tackles, and he's also had some success moving along the outside edges of the interior line. It'll be 2nd down, and we're going to have a flag on the play, number 87 for the
Tony
Chicago Thunder. Tony Ringo jumped a little early. It was 2nd and 10 to the 45, but now we're going to be looking at a 2nd and 15 situation after the referees get through marking off this 5-yard penalty.
Well, Tony's one of those old vets, and he was just trying to get a little help in getting downfield a little bit quicker. So he figured, age should count for something, so he could get a couple steps downfield early on.
Second and 15. They're going to mark the ball. They're going to call it midfield between the 49 and 50-yard line. The 50 and 49-yard line of the Force of Illinois. The Thunder has the ball. And this is Sierra back to pass. And he wants to go deep again. Looking long. It's picked off at the 15-yard line. And it's going to be returned up to the 30, 40, drilled out of bounds at the 42-yard line. That was a bad pass by Sierra. He was looking for the wide receiver, Ashley Frazier. Instead, his pass found John Silas, number 21, and Silas had a good return of about 35 yards, and that sets up the Force of Illinois with a 1st and 10 near midfield.
Yeah, it does. You know, second down is always a big play in the calling sequence. Whatever happened on first down, you want to make sure that in second down you're set up for a 3rd and short, and going long like that, and it's maybe a gamble you shouldn't take.
That was on top of everything else, the gamble. The odds were further stacked against him because there was just a poorly thrown ball. Now this is Al starting 1st and 10, high backfield. He's got his tight end in motion, moving left, right to left. And the give is to Pope. Pope spins free at the 48, crosses midfield, and is dropped at the 45-yard line. But that is a 1st down for the Force of Illinois, and their first down rushing the ball all game long. 9:37 left to go in the second quarter, and they gain their first down on the ground, only their second offensive 1st down of the game.
Yeah, I like this back here, Pope. He's one of those fire plug type of guys. Keeps those legs turning, hard to bring down with the first hit. And Coach McKinney is believing in that running game, and it's starting to work for him.
1st and 10, 45-yard line. The Force has the ball in Thunder territory. And now he's got his tight end moving left to right, I formation, wide receivers left to right. The give is to Pope this time, but he is stacked and blocked immediately, as in before he reached the line of scrimmage by a host of Chicago Thunder tacklers. There'll be about a loss of 5 on the play. They'll be looking at about a 2nd and 15 from midfield. What did you see there defensively, Mark? What did the Thunder do right, or what did the Force do wrong?
Well, I think that they didn't like the last play where they got run on, and you got guys like Thompson and Orlando
Packers just
Hoy
missed a
and
45-yard field goal.
That
so it's still 3-0.
Get across the ball, and maybe they got across the ball too soon because we got 5 yards marked against them.
That is unfortunate. You make a huge defensive play like that, and it's negated by defensive penalty. So instead of having the Force,
they drove on them, and they were able to get to the field goal range.
At their own 45-yard line, they're in a 1st and 5 situation. At midfield, they're in a 1st and 5 situation at the 41-yard line.
Yeah, that was a stupid pass by Grossman again.
Again, high formation.
Rookie mistakes.
Now we have a whistle to stop play. Let's see what this is about. The referees want to correct the placement of the ball. They now have it sitting squarely at the 41-yard line of the
every inch counts.
Chicago Thunder. You know that's right. And we're back in play. I formation. Wide receivers left and right. Single back. Deuce backfield. Tight end in motion, right to left. Play action pass. And the pass was intended for the tight end on the play. Pass intended for number 8. That would be Ashley Marshall, but it was underthrown. There was some pressure that Al's was dealing with, and now he's looking at a 2nd and 5 situation from the 41.
Oh yeah, we did the little motion play with the tight end going out to the flat, and he just didn't get the ball up, high enough for him to catch it. And that's an easy throw that you really do need to make.
Thanks to the penalty by the Chicago Thunder, they still are in a good situation, 2nd and 5 at the 41-yard line. Al's under center. He's got slot receivers to the left, Deuce backfield, but there's a blitz on, and he is dropped immediately back in midfield. Number 92, Corey Thompson, got in without much trouble. Like a thief going through an unlocked door. And he dropped Al's at the midfield stripe. And once again, they are looking at a 3rd and long situation, 3rd and 13, with the ball at the Thunder 49-yard line.
Well, this is what I've been saying all day, that second down is really, in my mind, the big down. If you do better at 2nd and 5, then you don't get yourself in 3rd and 15.
An ounce of prevention on 2nd down is worth a pound of cure on 3rd. 3rd and 13, ball on the 49. The Force come out. They've got a single back, player on the wing left, wide receivers left and right. Alf takes a long count, surveys the defense. Now he's setting his in, drops way back, there's a flag on the play, and I can tell you right now it's going to be illegal procedure on the near side wide receiver. As he took a little stutter step before the ball was snapped. That was number 18, Mike Becker.
Mike was a little bit antsy there. Mike, a few years ago, was the quarterback for the Thunder, led them to a championship. He's now playing wide receiver for the Force, and maybe he's just had a little bit going into that. Make a big play.
Well, that's really crippling. That a bad situation has now gotten worse. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 18 at their own 46-yard line. They're pushed back to their side of the 50-yard line. And Al's gets under center, same formation, slot left, single back. Wide receivers to the right. Al pumps, fakes, throws across the middle. He's got his man Marshall at the midfield stripe. Marshall to the 45, driven out of bounds at the Thunder 43-yard line. In on the tackle was number 8 for the Chicago Thunder. That's LeVar Stepter. Big gain on the play, but not nearly enough for a first down. They were looking at a 3rd and 18. They picked up 11. It is now 4th and 7 with the ball at the Thunder 43-yard line. So once again, into punt for the Force of Illinois is number 56. And that would be Alan Ross. Ross at the punt. Back deep to return is number 8, LeVar Stepter. And this is by far Ross's best punt of the game. He booms it to the 5-yard line. Bounces and takes a Thunder bounce back upfield, but is finally down at the 13. Tremendous punt. Down on the coverage for the Force of Illinois.
Bears are threatening.
Was number 31.
They're in the red zone.
And good thing he was there too, because otherwise the Thunder could have come out of that situation with a lot better field position. As it is, they'll start 1st and 10 at their own 13-yard line. So Ross's punting as in that key situation, once again, field position as the Force and a good situation defensively.
Yeah, you know, you mentioned earlier, you touched on special teams and how important they are. Certainly in a field position game, and it's a tight game, 8-6. Field position matters.
3rd and 8 at the Packer 16.
Thunder will be able to do with his field position. Jorge Sierra has his offense at the line of scrimmage, wide receivers left and right, and he throws a quick slant in to his wide receiver, Andre Rowland. Rowland caught the pass. He had good coverage on the play.
Get out of here.
Yeah, but the slight gain on the play, pick up a 6, well, not a slight gain, actually a pretty good gain for first down. Pick up a 6 on the play, 2nd and 4 from the 19.
Yeah, he hit him with a quick slant on that one, and by far, Rowland has to be his best receiver, certainly his favorite target, as he's got all 3 receptions.
Very productive in the first half of this ball game. Now the give is back to Binion. The source of their offensive success early in the ball game, and Binion pulls over left tackle for first down yardage. It'll be 1st and 10. He picked up about 5 or 6 on the play.
carrying defenders for the last 3.
They're going to get at least a field
For
goal.
the last 3, he's dropped at the 25-yard line. That's more than enough for the first down. And that is where the
Touchdown Bears
will start their fresh set down. First and 10 on their own 25-yard line. Clock moving at 4:35 to play in the first half. The Thunder come to the line of scrimmage. They've got 9 formation, wide receivers split left and right. Sierra with the long count. Rolls off the play fake to his right, but his pass, which was intended for number 22, Ashley Frazier, is incomplete.
Yeah, he didn't have his feet set on that one in the right way, and he just darn near hit somebody in the
7-3 Bears
5 rows here in the stands.
with about 5 minutes left to go in the half.
A very good call. The receiver was open, but you got to execute. You got to step right, plant right, and step in the direction that you're going to throw, and to make this thing work.
They're actually winning.
So, 2nd and 10 from the 25-yard line. The Thunder at their own 25-yard line. 4:18 to play in the first half. And the give is to Binion. He cuts back toward the middle of the field. He's got some running room. Breaks a tackle at the 32. Gets across the 35-yard line. Close to another first down. Looks like he will have a first down in that play. Pick up of 11. And boy, oh boy, just like the reliable car, Binion is always there and getting the offense started when they need it.
Yeah, and once again, he picks up 4 and 5 yards after the first hit. This kid is going to have 100 yards just on yards he gained after he got hit.
Well, he is obviously relishing the contact. 3:45 to play in the first half. First and 10, Thunder's ball at their own 36-yard line. And the give is again to Binion, again left side. And he's
carrying 3 tackles.
Carrying tackles and picking up about 3 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd and 7 with the ball at the 38-yard line, 39-yard line, let's call it. Good solid running by Binion. It'll be interesting to see now as we move to the close in on the 3-minute mark in the first half. The Thunder are going to be a little bit more conservative.
Yeah, we've got the Thunder coming up here now. Sierra behind the center takes the snap, and they go to Mr. Reliable Binion, and he gets stopped. Maybe at the line of scrimmage, maybe they're going to give him a pickup of about a yard, half yard on that play.
Well, it looked like that the force defense was just king on him, and just you almost wonder if they'd given the ball to anybody else out there it worked out. They really looked like they were going to stop him on that play, and that was their only focus. All right, it is 3rd and 7. The ball, Thunder has the ball at their own 39-yard line. Split backfield, receivers left and right. Sierra under center. Calls the signal, drops back, pump fakes. Now he's got some pressure, and that pressure turns into a sack. Dropped inside the 25-yard line. The blitz got to him. Royster, Ross, in on the tackle.
Sounds like a law firm.
Mr. Sierra on that play, and create a 4th and long situation. The ball being moved back from the 39-yard line all the way back to the 26-yard line. So that's a loss of 13 on the play. And it'll be 4th and, I'm going to call it 4th and about 20. About 4th and 20. With the ball at the 26-yard line. And that means it's time to punt, and Joe Tebow, thank you, is in to kick for the Force and back deep to return, or here's a kick for the Thunder. Back deep to return is Mr. Excitement, DeJuan Jones. He is already electrified for 1 touchdown on the last punt return. It'll be interesting to see how this one is handled. We're at the 2-minute warning here in the first half. The score, the Thunder 8, the Force of Illinois 6.
Yeah, if I'm going to do one thing, I'm not going to kick it to to Mr. Jones, if I have any sense at all. Remember, fans, at halftime, we have a couple of interesting interviews. We're going to be talking with Mickey Pruitt, currently Director of Football and Wrestling with Chicago Public Schools, and we'll be talking with Mike Bro, Associate Minister at Willow Creek Church.
Well, it's been a very interesting first half so far. Special teams and field position have been the tail of the tape. Either or both of those factors have figured into all of the scoring and much of the non-scoring, scoring opportunities that went by the boards for both teams. But with 2 minutes left, it is an 8-6 ball game, a close ball game, anybody's ball game, and we're set to go with Akibo back to kick. And he'll get it away at about the 15-yard line, a line drive kick, not allowed on it, shanks it to the right, goes out of bounds around midfield. That's one way. Juwan Jones from Scorching You for a punt return touchdown. And the Force of Illinois will set up shop first and 10, dead on the 50-yard line.
Well, yeah, the main thing that they wanted to do at that point in time is keep the ball away from Jones, and they kept the ball away from Jones. It was about a 25-yard punt that they get, but they don't give up any yards in return. So, a 25-yard net at this situation isn't all that bad.
Especially the way their defense has been playing. And this is turning into, in general terms, a big play kind of ball game. So with the time on the clock, given the way the first half is to get at the very least a field goal and a lead before halftime. So that is Walter Al's task as he brings his offense up to the line of scrimmage. He's got a single back, twins to the left, split wide receiver to the right. Calls his signals, drops back, play action pass, under pressure, down the middle of the field. He's got a man wide open. It's completed at the 15-yard line and down to the 10-yard line goes Juwan Jones. They stopped him on the punt, but the ball was well thrown by Al's on that play. Easily the best pass he's thrown all afternoon, although it's the second long completion he's had, but not the first time he's had a receiver wide open. But the best pass he's thrown all afternoon, and he threw it under some pressure. He had to get rid of it. Exactly when he did, he made a good play. Now they're first and goal at the 9, and they fumble the ball. There's a bad exchange on the handoff between Al's and the first back through. It looks like now, and they did not return possession. The Thunder, the fumble. Oh my goodness. The Thunder recover the fumble on their own 10-yard line. What else can go wrong for the Force? That is a killer right after the big play, Mark.
Yeah, it is. They get a big play, get inside the 10. It looks like they're going to score before the halftime. A field goal, if nothing else, and then they get, recover, cough up the ball, and it's those veterans on the Thunder defense in that front seven. They make plays.
That is just a momentum killer for maybe the first time in the entire first half. You feel a real surge. No. That wasn't my view of it. It looked like a bad exchange on the handoff, and those things happen. But
they're challenging. Everybody's challenging the call.
Like that to happen. Rightfully so, the ball will remain in the custody of the Chicago Thunder as they huddle on their own goal line. But here's one of those situations, Mark, where the Thunder find themselves deep in their own territory. A little over a minute to play in the first half, but they couldn't be happy about their situation.
No, they couldn't, and I'm surprised now with the offensive set that they come out with that they aren't going to give the ball to Benyon. Really, you need to give it to that guy and just let him work it. Get out of here with a 2-point lead in the half. You really don't want to be trying stuff here.
Well, they had 3 wide receivers to the right side, but they give the ball to the only running back, Frazier, the only running back in the backfield, and he he was able to wiggle his way for a gain of about 3, and now we have another flag on the play. And I think some of the frustration that the Force of Illinois feels at their own inability to capitalize on opportunity is starting to maybe boil over. We'll see what the penalty is here.
Yeah, we've got
The clock is as much an enemy as the Thunder is. But it was interesting on that play that the Thunder came out with triplets to the right side. So they are obviously still trying to put some points on the board. It does not look like they are going to be content to just go into the huddle, go into that halftime. And now they've got trips to the left side, triple wide receivers spread out to the left. They've got a wide receiver to the right, single back, no tight end. And Mr. Sierra's looking for more. He drops back the pass. He's got a little time, and he shoots a pass to the wide receiver.
now they've got 3rd down, and there's still 48 seconds left. But they should have ran the ball.
Well, they're showing a formation that would indicate trying to go deep, but they didn't do it on that play. They tried to move the ball incrementally toward the middle of the field with an intermediate pass. They've got triplets to the left, 2 wide receivers to the right, and they are going long this time. Sierra's pass is a jump ball and caught at the 40-yard line by Frazier, and now not loose. But I think the referee is going to blow the play dead. I think the ball is going to be blown dead at the 40-yard line. So there's going to be a gain on the play of 28 yards.
And the force bench doesn't like that.
The Force does not like that at all in light of the call that cost them possession. The Thunder has the ball at their own 40-yard line. And emotions are really, really running hot on such a mild and picturesque day. You would think that we are in the middle of a heat wave, the way these fuses are burning short and very hot.
Yeah, it's hotter than Texas. Upset about the pass call, and if Coach McKinney does not throttle it down at least a little, he's going to see himself get some big flag here, and it's not going to help him in the second half either with the way that the game, he's still in the ball game. He needs to just chill.
And something else to consider. He is giving the Thunder wide receivers ample time to catch their breath before lining up. They've been lining up 3 and 4 and 5 wide receivers on every down. As the clock winds down, it's becoming fairly obvious that they're not content to sit on the lead and that they are going to try to attack the goal line. And rather than having wide receivers who are running sprints and then getting back to the huddle, they've now had a couple minutes to rest up while McKinney has pleaded a case that I think we all know is going to be in vain attention.
Yeah, 1, he didn't give you the ball on the fumble. 2, you lost the ball on the fumble on 2 plays earlier. You certainly aren't going to revert back to 2 plays earlier, and they're not going to give you the ball. And you don't have it now. So the best thing to do is to, let it die. You can calmly voice your opposition at halftime with the referee, but the histrionics right now is not going to do you any good. It never did it.
Emotional edge right now, and
What's going on?
he might be better served as a counterbalance to that, rather than to kind of stoke that flame. But it looks like we're going to finally start getting back to football.
There's a football game today?
There was a minute ago. 1st and 10. The Thunder has the ball on their own 40-yard line. There's 37 seconds left. They lead the Force of Illinois by 2 points, 8-6. They are trying to add to that lead. This time they've got 2 receivers on either side of the line of scrimmage, 1 back in the backfield for Sierra as he drops straight back to the 30. Now he rolls left, drops the ball. But it is recovered by the Thunder. Binion fell on it at the 28-yard line. Had he not, opportunity may have once again been knocking on the Force of Illinois' door, waiting for them perhaps this time to actually be an effective weapon. And the source of the Force again, after a lengthy timeout, we're ready to play football. 2nd and 21. The Thunder has the ball on their own 29-yard line, 16 seconds to play in the first half. This could be the last play of the first half. And it looks like now they are going to be content to go into the locker room as they rein in the army of wide receivers. What they do have is going to come to an end, and when it does, we're going to find the Thunder ahead of the Force, 8-6. We're at Hanson Stadium, and here's Mark May with our halftime presentation.
Hello, fans. Welcome to BK Productions and our halftime show here.
So the Thunder start, 1st and 10. They've got split receivers, left and right, eye backfield to give his opinion. The productive runner from the first half, he's straight up the middle for a gain of about 1, maybe 2 yards on the play. He stopped immediately by number 56.
I forgot to watch the game. I was just seeing the score. I missed the kickoff.
Gain of 1 on the play.
They're going to go, what happened?
2nd and 9 from the 37-yard line, and that is how we start the second half.
Yeah, they went, back to school, said, oh, let's go with what worked. And, pounding it up the middle, getting positive yards, 2 yards on first down certainly is, not a bad thing. You keep one move to the sticks.
And to give us the opinion again, he's off left tackle, this time for a lot more yards. He steamrolls his way over a couple of tacklers. Finally dropped, but not before he reaches the 45-yard line. That's going to be a pickup of 5 on the play. It'll be 3rd and 2. I got a couple of questions I'd like to get your input on over these next couple of downs. I'll give you the first one after this play. 3rd and 2, Thunder's ball at their own 45-yard line. We have a new quarterback in there now. Ricky Williams is the new quarterback. And his cadence as the Force go jumpy. They jump outside. We'll see if it's offsides or if they were drawn off. First question. If you are the coach of the Force, what do you tell your team during halftime? And as far as both teams are concerned, what adjustments are you making? Let's talk about the adjustments offensively for the Thunder, defensively for the Force going into the second half.
Okay, first off, if I'm the Force coach, I thought we're in this ball game, and you need to just leave the disagreements about the fumbles behind, be positive. We're going to win this ball game. We're only 2 points down.
That was an offside penalty against the Force. It's a 1st and 10 situation. The ball squarely at the midfield stripe for the Thunder. And Williams is back. Will make his first pass of the game. And it will be on the personal blitz, but he gets it away. And the receiver on the play is actually Frazier, number 22, and he gets plus yardage on the swing pass on the left side of the backfield. He picks up about 3 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 7. Let's talk about adjustments. What adjustments are you making offensively if you're the Thunder, and defensively you're the Force?
Offensively, if I'm the Thunder, I'm going to, keep trying to get the ball into Binion's hands. He showed it again the first, 2nd down play. He got the ball. They picked up 5 yards. That was a good thing. Defensively for the Force, you got to cover that weak side B gap. They haven't been, and that's where the Thunder's running.
Okay, Ricky Williams has a lopsided I formation. And to give his to Binion, he cuts his way to the middle of the field. He's got some open room. He's across the 35-yard line to the 30. First down yardage and then some. Finally dropped at the 30. In on the tackle was, you guessed it, number 44, Jamie Asomi. He's got to be the leading tackler in this game, but that is a big first down. And you proved prophetic, Mark, in your coaching strategy to put the ball in Binion's gut and let him tote it.
Well, when I coached here with the Thunder, I was a very smart coach when I got it into our best running back's hands. And I would prescribe that theory to all coaches. Get it into your playmaker's hands, especially on big 2nd downs.
We'll leave it to the listeners' imagination as to what you were when you did. 1st and 10, ball on the 31-yard line. Some motion, but Binion winds up with the ball, and this time the Force is awaiting for him, and he is dropped. And it looked like he's going to lose about a yard of that real estate that he so swiftly gained on the play just before. It looks like we're looking at a 2nd and 11 situation. I guess they're going to say he did work his way back to the line of scrimmage. They're going to keep it at 10 yards for the first. 2nd and 10. Ball remains on the 31-yard line. Jackson, the new quarterback for the Thunder, under center. He's got the I formation, slot right receivers to give it to Binion. Off left tackle, he weaves his way to the 25-yard line, inside the 25. Goes to a first down, maybe a couple of yards short. Dropped it about the 23. And Binion looks like halftime. Recharged his batteries. He is running better than ever.
Yeah, another big second down play. They get it to him, and he puts him in another third short situation. I can't say it enough. Second down, you need to have positive yards. You want to stay out of third and long, have a good second down play.
Binion is the back who can do that for you. He has not only shown power, but he is just very, very shifty. Once he gets just a sliver of daylight moving through the gaps, he turns that into +5+ yardage. He is the tail setback. A long pass goes in and out of the hands of first the defensive back on the play. That was number 7, Jones. And then the intended receiver, number 2, Andres Rowan. Both had their hands on the ball. The ball fell incomplete. And now we're going to be looking at a 4th and 3 situation for the Thunder with the ball on the 24-yard line. So I don't know about trying to get that much real estate when they really needed the first down. They're going to go for it here on 4th. It's 4th and 3. The Thunder have the ball on the forced 24-yard line. Our first key play of the second half. I formation, split by receivers, Binion the ball carrier, Binion first down over the 20. He carries a couple of tacklers down to the 15-yard line. Boy, oh boy.
You see him.
They just can't lose when they give that guy the ball.
Man,
I tell you, Binion is making Tony Patek a very smart coach today. And he'll stay smart if he keeps giving the ball to Binion.
He may be smart, but he has the forced defense smarting. 1st and 10, the Thunder's ball on the 16-yard line. This is the best sustained drive that either team has put together so far in this ball game. Jackson is the new quarterback, but it's not been his arm so much as it's been Binion's legs. I formation, twins to the right, the give us to Binion. He stacked up as he tried to move between the tackle on the left side. No, that was number 30. I'm sorry, number 34, lead back. That was Avery. Mochi Avery was the ball carrier on that play. So they went for the changeup and didn't. Not a bad call.
No, it isn't. It's first down play. You try and see if you can catch him keying on your key guy. But certainly they got to go back to Binion on this play. I think they might be running a counter on this play.
Here's that second down you talked about. And the give is to Binion, and he weaves his way past the line of scrimmage to get plus yardage. He's across the 15 to about the 13 on the play. It looked to me like there was some illegal motion in the Thunder's backfield, but I don't see a flag.
Well, what happened is the lead back moved up and then to the side, and he can do that. That isn't illegal. You can't have a back in motion. Of course, it really messed up the timing of the play, and it was a counter play coming off of that offset to the weak side.
Yeah, you can tell by his movement that it was not by design, but he was very alert in making a last-second movement that made him legal on the play. So instead of losing 5, they're able to pick up 2, 3rd and 8, and now Jackson's going to roll right and look to pass, and he had a man open, but the ball is dropped at the 10-yard line. It would have given them not enough for a first down. But Scales was unable to hang on to the pass. And now we're looking at a 4th down situation, and Jamie Clemens is going to come on and try to extend the Thunder's lead to 5 points.
Yeah, they had to throw on that play. It was 3rd and long, and although I don't think that even if he had caught the ball, would he have had enough yardage to make a first down? So it's kind of a wash. You got him, trying for a 28-yard, a 31-yard field goal now.
Yeah, he was diving. The pass was low. He was diving to make the catch, and the cornerback was closing fast. So unless something miraculous, he'd have been down. All right, they're trying the field goal. The snap is down. The kick is blocked. It is blocked solidly, and it is recovered by the force of Illinois at their own 34-yard line, and burst test everything on the ball. That dreaded double thump that kickers have nightmares about, and coming down fast on the wing for the Thunder was number 16 Becker, who tried to scoop it and run. He wasn't able to get his hands on the ball in a running position, but did fall on it. So now the force of Illinois take over 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line, and once again that momentum pendulum is moving in the other direction, or it could be. Al's is under center. He's got an eye backfield. Receivers left and right. The Thunder look like they might be showing blitz, and the give is to Pope, and he wiggles for about a yard on the play. Number 10, Bryce Joyner made the tackle.
Yeah, you saw that when Bryce Joyner started making movements from his cornerback position like he was going to blitz on it. And maybe the defense called an audible, called him out of it. And when he saw that the quarterback had spied what he was doing, and he backed out of it, but still came up and made the play on the run.
All right, of course, is looking at a 2nd and 9 situation at their own 35-yard line. Al's under center. He's got an eye backfield. Now he has one of his trim receivers to the right, moving to the left. So he's got trim receivers left, one to the right, and the give us to Pope. He struggles with a tackler on his back to move well across the 35 and close in on the 40-yard line. He came up just a little bit short of that destination, as well as the first down. It'll be about 4 yards short on 3rd down. 3rd and 6, 38-yard line. Mark, what do you call in this situation? What are some of your options you'd be looking at offensively?
Well, I think I might try to do something and put it 2 receivers to Jones's side, so I can kind of run him maybe from the slot out
beat him
and get him on the first down play.
Maybe just the opposite. They have slots to the right, but Jones is on the left side by himself, and we have a bad exchange on the snap again by the force. A situation that killed him in the first half. The Thunder are indicating that they have the ball. We don't have an official pronouncement by the referee as of yet, as they try to unglue the pile, and it's going to be the Thunder's ball. They recover the fumble, and they will have it 1st and 10 in excellent field position at the force 35-yard line. So, 5:44 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Goal for the Bears.
Another costly turnover by the force of Illinois. That's 3 so far, and all of a sudden, they've got their backs against the wall early on here in the 2nd half.
You know, it is so important. Turnovers, the way that they factor into who wins and who loses. More times than not, you win the turnover battle, you win the game. And especially in a tight defensive game like today, it really becomes a premium.
Like free throw shooting in basketball and walks in baseball.
Offensively, all day long offensively, it just seemed like the Force's offense has been going in fits and starts and stuff, and they just haven't had any continuity, while the Thunder has had shown some today.
Jackson under center. He's got an eye backfield. Receiver split left and right. The give is opinion, but it's a bad exchange. Fumbled ball, and it looks like the Force may have gotten the ball right back on the very next play. They do. Force ball, number 40, makes the recovery for the Force. They will have it now, 1st and 10 at their own 42-yard line. Another big, costly play on that turnover, this time by the Thunder.
Yeah, you know, you get the ball and you're ready to drive and you're ready to try to put some separation, and it seems like they just keep letting the Force get back in the game, or at least have a chance to, take the lead. They shoot themselves in the foot. They kind of almost did it before the half. They've done it again the first series here in the second half.
So they have run out of feet to shoot. They've
It'll be a centipede.
They're puppies to pieces. 5:30 to play in the third quarter. And this is Pope, the ball carrier. He is hit in the backfield once, twice, but continues to move forward on his feet and with the use of one of his hands, almost crawling back toward the line of scrimmage. He came up about a yard short of that destination, but it was not the 6 or 7 yard loss that the play really should have been if he does not fight off that first tackle. There was no flag on the play, so it will be second down, and they're going to keep it at 10, but it looks closer to about 11 yards to go at the 42-yard line for the Force of Illinois, and that Thunder defense was swarming.
Yeah, they smelled that play out right away. It was a counter-type play. They had the left side pulling over to the right, and on that play,
Rick,
Mark
the guy that came
Pope
in.
showed the quintessential fighting for yards.
And he says, anything I can do for you? I said, yeah, move that
Scrambled
for
and
me.
did whatever.
Here's something that's interesting to do. This is
He said that in the capital improvements, they're going to get new lights, and they've asked for them to be moved back.
That I don't understand. 4:35 to play in the third quarter. Marshall, the tight end, moves in motion left to right, eye backfield, and it's a play fake to Pope, and now they're going to try to hit Jones with a at the 30-yard line of the Thunder. Beautiful interception. Jones, the intended receiver. But it looked to me, Mark, like Alex put a little bit too much air up under that pass.
Yeah, he got it up into the wind and kind of held it up a little bit. I saw Dewan kind of stumbling in the post-corner move that he was trying to run. I don't know, they sometimes before it shows some work at running the ball and the short really have a firm handle on what their identity is.
So the rash of turnovers continue. We have 3 turnovers so far in the first half in just over 10 minutes of play. And the Thunder, the beneficiary of the last turnover, the interception, now have it 1st and 10 on their own 30-yard line. The good news for the Force, I guess, is that they are winning the field position battle, as this is the worst starting point of the second half for the Thunder. The give is to Binion. And he moves off tackle for about 5 yards. He crosses the 35-yard line. It will be 2nd and 5 from there. The stop was made for the Force by number 46 coming in on the play, getting his nose involved and making a good tackle.
Craig, sometimes offensive coordinators, they worry when they go to, one play that is working so well. Say, well, maybe I should change it up. In reality, there's a Bill Walsh axiom of, stay with it until it stops.
You can't stop it, I can't stop calling it. It's a good offensive philosophy. Have some movement along the line of scrimmage before the snap. Both interior lines pointing at each other. We'll see which side the referee takes.
If Rheingold gets bailed out on this one, he was the offensive lineman that moved. Now it's a matter of if a referee is going to say that the Thunder player encroached that was just inside, and no, Tony doesn't get bailed out on this one.
That's not how he saw it. So a 2nd and 5 situation is going to turn into a 2nd and 10 situation. Binion's 5-yard gain is negated. And we're pretty much back to where we started from, save for the loss of down. 2nd and 10, 30-yard line, 3:17 to play in the third quarter. Jackson, the new quarterback, replacing and give us to Binion across the 30-yard line, and he gets the same 5 yards back again. He's back to the 35-yard line. I started to say that Williams, the new quarterback, is in to replace Sierra, who started the game and played the first half, and actually threw a touchdown pass, but is now been replaced here in the second half. It is 35 from the 35-yard line. Williams brings his team up I formation, wide receivers left and right, tight end on the right side. Quick count, Give us to Binion. He slashes back across.
Face mask.
Face mask, a flag on the play. It looked like, Mark, that play was designed to go left, but Binion saw his hole between the guards, and that's where he went.
Yeah, what you're having now more and more in offense is sort of like zone blocking, and what the back has the option to do is he can either stay on line and keep it where the play is designed to go, or if he sees that the defense over pursues, he can cut back, and that looks like that's what Binion was doing, and they get a first down on that penalty.
Binion is rewarded for his work. He'll get a breather on this play. Jackson, under center, I formation, receivers left and right, and the give is to Binion's replacement on the play, number 22, Ashley Frazier. And Frazier is stopped moving along the right side of the line for no gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 41-yard line. And we'll see if Binion's rest is just for one play. He's going to stay out this play too. He didn't appear to be hurt.
No, he didn't. Although they did tug on the face mask a little at the end of the play. They only got 5 yards for it, so it had to just be an incidental, or at least the referee thought it was incidental. Maybe Anthony Binion might say otherwise.
2nd and 10, 41-yard line, under 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. And now Williams wants to pass, but he's flushed out of the pocket, rolling hard to his left. He's hit going out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. As a matter of fact, it looked like that last hit, which was applied by the peripatetic Jamie Isomi, might have been a little bit late. There's not going to be a flag on the play, but I think he got away with a little bit of a late hit on that play. Instead, it's a gain of about 4 yards for Williams.
The late hit on that play was number 93 for the Force. Get the referee coming over to call the play about 3 or 4 yards.
Well, you don't get very many opportunities like that in football. And number 93 took advantage of it. That was Ivan Malavay. That was 93 for the Force applied the pressure. I was following the ball there. We're looking at a 3rd and 6 situation. Ball on the 45-yard line. About 40 seconds to play in the third quarter. Split backfield. Williams back to pass. He's got pressure. Rolls to his right. He gets rid of the pass and just overthrows his man. That was Ashley Frazier, his intended receiver out of the backfield on the play. But it was a difficult play to try to make. He was rolling hard to his right and throwing on the run. So now it'll be 4th and 6 from the 45-yard line. And the drive mark that started out with a lot of promise, with Binion carrying the ball, fizzles and dies as they will bring in their punter to kick the ball over to who is setting up shots between the 20 and 25-yard line.
Yeah, that drive started out pretty good, and when Anthony Binion went to the bench, so did the prosperity in that last drive. Dwayne Jones back to return it, and he kind of looks like a panther back there, chafing at the bit.
And that's going to be the end of the third quarter. So a third quarter that had some offensive momentum shifts back and forth, but was dominated by turnovers. 3 to be exact, comes to a close. We've got 15 minutes of initial read of that scoreboard that this has not been an offensive football game or play with a lot of offense in it. And of course, it's been a low-scoring game, but there have been big plays offensively, and we've seen some offensive talent flashed on this field by players in both uniforms. But we're ready to start the fourth quarter now. The Force have the ball. The Force will be getting the ball from the Thunder as they punt. It is not a very good punt. Clemens' punt is shanked just across midfield.
You keep wondering when the Force is going to show up. When are they going to get their offense in sync? When are they going to take advantage of one of these many opportunities they've had?
Once again, for the third time, they have a dropped exchange on the snap. This time, Alves was able to fall on the ball. So they will retain possession. They will, however, lose about 3 yards on the play. And, two. A 2nd and 12 situation. The ball now at the 44-yard line. 2nd and 12 at the 44-yard line. That is not the way to start a drive.
No, it isn't. Very auspicious way to start a drive. You come right out the gate talking about how you need to get things together and they can't even get the handoff off.
And that is 3 times in one game is just startling to say the least. Al's under center. He's got an eye backfield. He gives to Marquez Pope, and Pope gets back across the original line of scrimmage, maybe a yard or so after that. So we're going to give him a gain of about 3, maybe 4 on the play. And they're going to be looking at a 3rd and long situation. Once again, what we were talking about all afternoon, 2nd down being a big play. And they were not able to get the kind of plus yardage that they really needed, especially considering what happened on 1st down. They're looking at a 3rd and 8 at their own 47.
Yeah, they wanted a little bit more out of that play. And certainly, head coach Will Creighton wanted a lot more as he gave somebody, 4 over that.
The drive started with good field position. If they don't get the first here, what they can salvage out of this is if Ross gives them a good punt, they can shift keep the field position advantage in their favor. We'll see what happens. 1 back in the backfield, 2 wide receivers, 2 to the left. The pass from Al's is across the middle. It tipped a lot of fingers, but fell harmlessly incomplete. I believe the intended receiver
play in the
that
third.
play
Harry got the
number
ball in the
18,
first 31.
Mike Becker. He was well covered. There was a lot of pressure that Al was facing. And now it will be 4th down. 4th and 8 from the 47-yard line. And in to punt for the force is Ross. Back deep to return is Stepter. And the up back on the return is Rob Mintz. And we'll see how this turns out. Mintz, an excellent linebacker. You haven't heard his name called a lot this afternoon.
Well, no, they haven't been going outside at him. They've been trying to run more inside. A high snap, and Ross gets the ball away.
A good hit. Taken by Stepper at the 15, 20, 25. Shakes a tackle, but can't get by the second guy who shows up just in time. The cavalry arrives for the force at the 26-yard line, and that is where Stepper will stop. And that is where the Thunder will start 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line. Ross's kicking has improved dramatically, both his kickoffs and punts the last few times he's been out on the field, and that has really been instrumental in keeping the force within a striking distance of the lead in this football game. That was a good, high, strong punt under a lot of pressure. Stepter made a clean catch of it at the 15 and actually had a pretty decent return. He got 11 yards on the return. But the force will be able to start their defense of the Thunder. With the Thunder having the ball 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line. A little confusion on the field now.
It's minor league football. You gotta love it.
But we're ready to go. Jackson in at quarterback. He has been there since the start of the second half. I formation. Binion is back in as the tailback, and he gets the call on 1st down and moves for a gain of about 4 on the play. Stopped at about the 34-yard line. They're going to call it a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd and 7 to the 29-yard line. We've got 12 and a half minutes to play in the 4th quarter. The Thunder of Chicago lead the Force of Illinois 8-6. It's been a very dramatic ball game in terms of big plays, but the kind of ball game where teams have found ways to stop themselves, even if their opponent has not found a way to stop them. Split backfield this time. Williams the quarterback, wide receivers left and right. He drops back to pass, and he's got pressure. He's going to try to tuck it and run. Spins free at the 25-yard line, but is lucky to get back to the initial line of scrimmage where this
I
drive started.
think he lost a yard on that one.
I think he did. Got back to the initial line of scrimmage from the start of the drive, not the start of the play. And we're looking at a 3rd and 9 situation. So he's a little in between those 2 points. Ball on the 27-yard line. Clock moving with 11 and a half minutes to play in the game. 3rd and long situation. What would be running through your mind in terms of options in this situation, Mark?
I would, once again, they're going contrary to what I would do. I would actually put Roldan over on the 2 receiver side in the slot, try to get a better matchup, and then get a closer pass to the quarterback and run it on the slant.
Instead, they've got twins to the left, but Williams completes his pass, his first completion of the ball game to Roldan, the lone receiver on the left side.
And he may have enough for a first.
He looks like he's got first down yardage.
Touchdown, Green Bay.
Mark it at the 42-yard line. So that's going to be a pickup of 10 on the play. They needed 9. They now have it first and 10 at their own 37-yard line. Thunder first and 10 at their own 37-yard line. Clock moving. Just under 11 minutes to play in the 4th quarter. Williams brings his offense to the line of scrimmage. He's got wide receivers left and right, I formation, minion, the tail of the tandem, and there's movement before the snap, which means there are flags and whistles. And we will sort this out and see if we've got offsides or illegal procedure.
Yeah, look.
Well, penalties and turnovers have had as much to do with the ebb and flow of this football game as any other factor. And right now, that is working against the Thunder. It's 1st and 15 at their own 32-yard line. Williams straight back drop to pass again, and this pass is short. The intended receiver on that play was number 16, Ron Scales, but he was not under a lot of pressure, but made a bad throw, and at the risk of second guessing, Mark, I'm wondering why he has been brought in at quarterback unless the starter, Sierra, is injured.
No, I don't think it's a matter of Sierra being injured. I just think that they
got
had
it
a
back.
predetermined plan to play these 2
They
quarterbacks.
called it back on a penalty, the
They have a
touchdown.
3rd quarterback
Favre
who
went
is
right
not
back and got it
playing
again.
at all. Jeremy Walsh, who's another good one. They've got 3 pretty good quarterbacks on the team, and they're just trying to find time for them to get in.
Jackson made one good throw a couple of drives ago, but he's had several passes where he just missed the mark. But he hits it this time. Kevin Jackson is the intended receiver, and in fact is the receiver on a well-thrown pass right in the breadbasket. The catch is made at the 46-yard line. That is a pickup of 8 on the play, 9 on the play. It's going to be 3rd down and 1. And check that gain of 13. 3rd and 1. Force has the ball on their own 46-yard line. Thunder has the ball on their own 46-yard line. Williams under center. High backfield. And the give is to number 22, Ashley Frazier. And he is stopped for a short gain with no gain on the play. So now they've got a 4th and 1 situation. Why was Binion not carrying the ball on that play?
I don't know. I think he was still he wasn't in at all that past series, and maybe they were just giving him a breather. It was I don't know. You can look at it a couple of ways. You can look at it as you want to make sure he's fresh for the last time you get the ball, or you can look at it as you want to put the game away and make a difference right now.
That is confusing to me. Clemens is in the kick. Juwan Jones is back deep to return. He was joined back there by number 21, John Silas. They need a good punt out of Clemens right here. He gets a good snap. And he aims for the sideline. They do not want Jones to get his hands on the ball. And in order to do that, Clemens is willing to give up yardage on the kick. But I think at this point, perhaps the Senior is a lot less concerned with the field position than they had to concede to keep the ball out of Juwan Jones' hands.
Yeah, that really is important. You don't want him to cross your fingers. Maybe Coach McKinney won't call for him to get the ball on offense.
You can't look at it as the difference between the Force starting at their 20 or their 40, but their 40 or your 20. You have on first down, whereas the first back through Page
on the tackle.
Page stops him immediately for a loss of 1 on the play. So it'll be 2nd and 11. Angelo Poindexter was the ball carrier on that play. First back through, he had no chance. Page was waiting there.
9 minutes and 45 seconds they used on that drive of the third quarter. 2/3 of the third quarter they used up.
Ball on the 39-yard line, 7-16.
21-10.
We're under by 2 here in the fourth quarter. And we've got Becker now in at quarterback. We've got slot to the left, wide receiver to the right, single back. And Becker's back to pass. He's got a lot of pressure. And he has now been baptized. The blitz reaches its destination in time. Loss of 5 on the play. It'll be 3rd and 15 from the 39. What went wrong, Mark?
I can see now with the Force line, they've got some pretty wide bodies up there, and these guys aren't that mobile. And the Thunder players are shooting the gap. The Force needs to really cut down their splits, maybe down to a half yard, if not a yard, because they aren't moving, and the only way to keep the guys from cutting the gaps is not give them one.
Given the amount of real estate between them and field goal range, let alone a touchdown, given the time on the clock, 6:30 and moving in the fourth, not being able to protect the path could very well be a death knell. They've got 3 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right, single back with the quarterback. It looks like the Thunder is showing a straight-up defense. Doesn't look like there's a blitz on. A little movement on the line. There's a flag. And this time I think it is going to be offside, Mark. And I think the culprit is going to be number 92, Corey Thompson.
Yeah, he looked like he jumped into the neutral zone at that time, and it looks like it's going to be against. And there you have it. It looks like it's going to be against the Force false start. I didn't see where the guy flinched or moved. I thought it was because Corey jumped offside. Maybe it was something at the top end where a offensive lineman at the top end away from us made a movement.
If somebody on the offensive line flinched, maybe he batted his eyes or something. From this vantage point, it is rather good. I sure couldn't see any movement. Be that as it may, 5:40 to play in the fourth quarter. It's 3rd and 20, and the Force is moving in the wrong direction. They have their ball at their own 31-yard line. Becker in at quarterback, triplets to the left, 1 receiver to the right, single back in the backfield is Marquez Pope. And Becker's back to pass. He wants to get a bunch of it. The ball is up in the air, and it is caught. It is caught. Becker's pass is complete. Number 82. The receiver on the play, that's Scott Schwann, and that is a huge play for the Force of Illinois as they move 35 yards on the play and now have a 1st and 10 situation at the Thunder.
Well, just when you think that they're dead, they pull a play out and, breathe some new life into it, and they come out now, 3 receivers to the bottom, 1 to the top, single backfield.
We've had quarterback changes in this game, but we now know why Becker's in this ball game. He's back to pass again. He steps up into the pocket, doesn't have a lot there. He's going to tuck it and run. He gets to the 30, inside the 30, and goes out of bounds at the 27-yard line and pick up about 7 on the play. So Becker has what can now officially be called a sustained drive. He has had 2+ yardage plays in a row, and that has not been the norm for the Force today.
Yeah, one of the things I think that is driving Mike Becker today is he used to quarterback this Thunder team. He took this Thunder team to a league championship, and he wants to come back. He wants to beat them. He had an opportunity last year with the Punishers, and Thunder came out on top. He wants to do it this time.
And they're going to try a flea flicker. The handoff in the pitch back to Becker, who was looking for a receiver on the out route, and the pass was incomplete. It was the old pitch back play that everybody has seen work to varying degrees of success over the years. That time, the guy doing the back pitching was Angelo Poindexter. The running back took the handoff, headed into the line, turned around, flipped it back to Becker, who caught it, rolled right, and looked for his receiver down the sideline, Randy Williams, but was unable to get the ball to him. So it is now 3rd down and 2. And I think without fear of the snap, without that, of course, nothing else is possible. And on several occasions this afternoon, for them, that has not been possible.
Yeah, you would think that you wouldn't have to point out that you need to get the center quarterback snap off, but it hasn't happened a lot, today where they've had it cleanly. So, yeah, this is a big down. This is an important play, and you can't get positive yardage if you can't get the snap off.
Okay. The Force is at the line. They've got 3 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Poindexter, the only back in the backfield. Becker's back, play fakes. Now he wants to run with it. He's going to try to get the first, and he's going to get the first. Going out of bounds inside the 25-yard line, out at about the 21. Huge play by Becker, and he is the lubrication that this engine is needed. He's got it running smoothly, or at least moving in the right direction. That's a first down for the Force. They now have a 1st and 10 at the Thunder 21-yard line.
Yeah, that was a real heads-up play there, called by Coach McKinney. Little fake draw to the tailback, and then quarterback draw. You get the defense flowing one way with the tailback, and then the quarterback just busts out the backfield to the open side.
And by running him to the short side and the weak side, he minimized not only the number of players being over there, but the opportunity for his quarterback to get hurt. Good call all the way around. So 1st and 10. Force ball on the 21-yard line. We've got 3.5 minutes to play in the 4th quarter. Becker on the center. You got triplets to the right, 1 receiver to the left, and he's going that way. Jones open. But then coverage came at the last minute. The pass is broken up. He was open for a split second, but snapped him closed in a hurry. Knocked the pass away. In fact, by the end of the play, it was actually DeJuan Jones who was doing the defending.
Yeah, they made a big play on the ball. I think Becker kind of let it lay out there in the air a little bit too long, and when you do that, you give the defense a chance to recover. And some of these defensive backs for the Thunder have some good recovery ability. Also in on that play was free safety Lamont Gilman, who came over from the middle of the field to make the play.
That play actually reminded me of in basketball, where you clear out one side and let your star go one-on-one with the defender. That's very much what it was like. And they're setting up in the same formation. 3 wide receivers to the right, DeJuan Jones, the only wide receiver to the left. 1 back in the backfield, that's Angelo Poindexter. And this is Becker on the center. He's dropping back, and he's got Jones on the sweep, but this time he's going right side and way overthrows it. I don't think he was trying to get rid of it. He was under a lot of pressure and just didn't have time to really gauge what he needed to put on that ball to complete it, and overshot his mark. That time they had Jones as the only receiver on the left. They ran him on a slot, and he was more or less a decoy.
Yeah, I think what they're seeing now is they're going to pick which side free safety Lamont Gilman goes to, and if Gilman goes to help out and double team with Jones, and they've got all the three receivers on the other side are locked up man for man, and they're going to try to go to one of them, and Randy Williams is.
So for the second time in this drive, a huge third down situation. It's 3rd and 10. The Force has the ball on the 21-yard line. 3:15 to play in the fourth quarter. Same formation. Three wide receivers to the right. Jones the only receiver to the left. Once again, Mark, they have found a way to get a bullet from the holster to the foot.
Like you said, you don't know if they had any feet left. Obviously, this is a centipede, and they've got, or a spider. They've got enough feet out there, and they continue to shoot away and make connections.
I think what it might be is they have very big feet because they keep tripping over them. It is 3rd and 15 from the 26-yard line. This makes, not only is this now the biggest play of the game, it is a difficult play. Becker's back. He's under pressure. Rolls right. More pressure. He gets loose, but he's back in midfield. Running the opposite way. He gets rid of the ball and overshoots his man. Oh, he had Randy Williams open at the goal line on the left sideline. Becker rolled right under pressure all the way to the right sideline. Somehow escaped the grasp of a huge number 77, Brian Page, cut back toward the middle of the field, and going against his body, was able to get the pass off, but overshot his man by about 5 yards. And that's going to bring about a 4th and 15. And now that penalty looms so large, Mark, because a field goal for Ross is very, very difficult, although it looks like you think a field goal or
they got Ross in there. I think that they're going for a field goal. I know Alan Ross, even if they call a punt, Alan would tee it up for the field goal.
All right. This is a field goal attempt by Ross. He's a left-footed kicker. They're going to set it up at the 34-yard line. That's going to make this a 44-yard attempt. And there is a timeout on the field by the Thunder. The Thunder takes their first timeout. It's all wide left, perhaps, or Ross at the very least will have to compensate for it.
Yeah, you really have to worry about these winds here at Hanson Stadium, as both ends of the field are kind of open. And if it does blow in at your face, it will blow in at your face.
He's a left-footed kicker, so if he hits him right, he will be kicking against him. And the snap is high, and there's a fake. It's a fake, and the holder on the play was number 31. But he is far short of the first down. So they lined up for the field goal. They ran the fake. It was unsuccessful on 4th down, and that is a direct result.
Yeah, when the previous play, the tackle happens, what your options are for down and distance for the next play. So it shouldn't take that long to get it in, and you got to get your quarterbacks to understand they got to call the play and get it off.
So now with 2:56 to play in the 4th, the Thunder has the ball 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line. Binion is back in the game, and Binion is toting the rock. He is stopped almost immediately, and the Force burns their last time out. Do they have a choice, or would you have waited?
I might have waited a little bit. They certainly could have got another play off. Certainly with a stop, it helps the situation. But I might have waited another play because the Thunder was either way was going to have to get off another play before the 2-minute warning, and then you got to stop at the 2-minute warning. So I might have saved that timeout until under 2 minutes.
Especially considering that they're only down by 2 points. And the significance of that is, no matter where they regain possession of the ball, assuming that they do, they don't have to drive all the way for a touchdown. So if they get the ball at midfield, for instance, or at the 40 on a punt exchange, they really only need to move the ball about 25 to 30 yards, and then they're in position to win this ball game. And although their offense has not been consistent, it has on occasion gained that kind of yardage in one fell swoop. It is now 2nd and 10, 22-yard line, 2:50 to play. Williams under center, high backfield. Benny in the tail of the tandem. He gets the ball going off right tackle, and he is stacked up after a very short gain of about maybe 2 yards. And that's going to leave about a 3rd and 8 situation if they give them 3, a 3rd. And the clock is moving with under 2.5 minutes to play.
Yeah, the Thunder doesn't have to come out of the huddle here. They can let the clock stop it at the 2-minute warning. I certainly would do that. I don't want to run another play and give them another shot, an extra down after the 2-minute warning. And here it goes.
And so this would have been a good time for them to burn that time out in that 3rd and long situation that they're facing now, and then have that 2-minute warning come up before 4th down, and then the clock would stop again on the exchange of players from both teams. And now they're going to put the whip to it for the last 120 seconds and see how this thing plays out.
Yeah, who do you think, in your opinion right now would be offensive player of the game or defensive player of the game for us today?
You beat me to it. I was going to ask you that. But I'm going to take advantage of the fact that the Thunder is coming to the line of scrimmage and give myself some time to think about it. Williams gets under center. He's got I formation. They're bending the tail of the tandems. Good wide receivers left and right. Forced defense. Chomping at the bit. Long count. Williams takes a snap. Short drop. And he completes a pass for first down yardage. That is a huge play.
Incomplete.
Oh,
He dropped the ball.
they call it incomplete. It looked from here as if Scales caught the ball.
I guess he dropped it, and he had his body turned away from us when he.
Sports has no timeouts yet. They can't stop the clock, and the Thunder stopped it for them on an incomplete pass. Running the clock was far more important than a first down and retaining possession of the ball when the other team doesn't have any timeouts left. And now Clemens is in the game, and DeJuan Jones is set up at the 47-yard line to return the punt. But Clemens has been very adept at keeping the ball away from Jones ever since he burned him for a 49-yard punt return for a touchdown. John Silas is also back deep. He's at the 44-yard line.
Who feel me, and another guy ran in, and then he had to run back off when he found out that they actually had the appropriate complement. You can't have a guy standing by the sidelines disguising himself with the bench players.
Now it's 4th and 12 with the ball on the 19. And DeJuan Jones moves up now to the 49-yard line. And we've got a whistle. And as it looks like movement on the play. And we'll see if this
seems like they're being very gracious hosts. And they're giving them yet another chance to get back in.
Let's see if Clemens can get the punt away this time without further damage to their field position. And he does, but just barely. And it's to Silas. He lets it bounce, picks it up in his own 45. He moves to the 50. He's still on his feet at the 45.
Forces you by where he lines up to kick it into the rear. And, this isn't a good thing, at all for the Thunder. They got to hope that the defense pulls it out.
Perhaps worse than all of that, they're throwing an incomplete pass that stopped the clock. Now Becker's under center. He's got one back and a slew of receivers. And the give is to the one back of the Chicago Thunder. The clock is moving with 1:23 to play. It'll be 2nd and 4 at the 39-yard line. Becker calls the play of the line. He's got twins to the right and left. One back in the backfield. That is Pope. The Thunder showing blitz. Becker back to pass. He has it.
That is setting behind. You got it, and the way that the ball was on the line, it wasn't looping. It just stays in the sunlight way too long.
That is an excellent point and the kind of insight that former tight ends are apt to have. Now we're looking at a 3rd and 4 situation. Ball on the 39-yard line. 1:06 to play. They did stop the clock with the incompletion. Now here comes the blitz. Becker drops back deep. He's well intercepted. Intercepted at the 29-yard line. He's moving to the 44.
This ball game is over with.
Well, Becker was under some pressure. Sparacino made the interception. knifed into the passing lane that Becker thought was clear. Because that was clock is winding. Nothing the force can do to stop the clock. We're down to 35 seconds. 2nd and 10. Ball on the 44-yard line. I guess he'll have to tee it up one more time. They're in the victory formation. There's the snap. Williams takes a knee and it's going to go down for the Chicago Thunder over the fort. That's about as much excitement as you can pack into a football game where both teams get by for 14 points.
Yeah.